smoke and lightning, heavy metal thunder, racing with the wind, and the feeling that I'm under. Make it happen, take a breath and love embrace, fire on your bones, one side, explode in space, and like a true nature's child, hope we were born, gonna be wild, hope we can climb so high, never wanna die, born to be wild, born to be wild. Get your motor running, head on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, I wanna make it happen, take a world in a loving embrace.
Shit, it's cold right now, Goose Sports. It's in the 30s here in the Charleston area right now. I don't know what the high is supposed to be today, but it's cold out there right now. Man, Matt, 23 degrees. Where do you live? You must live up north somewhere. You live in Ohio or something? Speaking of Ohio, I apologize for the poor picture quality. Of course, it's not my fault. I didn't take the picture and I didn't upload it to the internet. But, where is it here? Well, where is it? Oh, here it is. Hey, there you are. Columbus, Ohio. All right. Yeah, one of my really good friends is from there, man. He grew up there, went to Ohio State, and then about 6 or 7 years ago, he moved down here, and he's been here ever since.
Together over me.
Well, damn, Rich, that sucks. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried, John, because I'm reading the same things you were hearing about. This is supposed to be one of the coldest winters on the East Coast in a long time. And, well, the Slab Olympics is technically in the wintertime. It's in early March. It's going to be a gamble, but I think we'll be all right. Nothing could be colder than last year in Tennessee. It was like 17 degrees outside, and the wind was kicking. Even if it's like in the 50s, I'll be fine. I mean, that's not that bad. I hope we don't have like a nor'easter at that time of the year, and it's like below freezing or at freezing. That would suck.
Together right now over me.
Did y'all see Rec Talk Flex buying $400 cigars? What? What is Rec Talk must be rich. Well, yeah, it's not you're right. The wind, well, see, we're doing the Slab Olympics events on the beach, or at least the majority of them, I think. So it's going to be windy. I mean, no Rec Talk slander.
Hey, YouTube music listeners.
Oh,
With an
shut
Gaming
up.
PC, you can do it all. You can be
Shut
the
up.
always streaming, content creating.
You know what? Just for that, I'm just going to stop it. It was fun while it lasted. Let's just get the show started, shall we? What's up, everybody? How you doing? Happy Monday to you. It is, it's Christmas week officially, which means I have a lot to do this week in preparation. I'm sure you all do too. Welcome to the Midday Show. Of course, I am your host, PigskinPeete. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about the Slab Olympics. I know we are doing the show tonight. Here, I'll put the show schedule up. We'll got the Lunch Money show tonight over on Uncle Lou's channel. And I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about the Slab Olympics. But I've been getting a lot of people messaging me. Both messaging me and just leaving me comments in my YouTube comment section about like what's the Slab Olympics all about? When is it? Where? How do I? There's a lot of questions, and I could spend all day like responding to every question, by typing it out in the comment section. But I'm not going to do that. I have to realize there's a lot of new people that weren't here last year that have no idea what the Slab Olympics is because we don't talk about it during football season, and we start talking about it around this time of year. It's only a few months away. Less than 3 months away. So it's creeping up quickly. But we'll talk a little bit about that. Miami is killing it on the recruiting trail right now. They pulled in some big-time commits over the weekend. I think they stole... I know they stole at least one, maybe even two from Florida, some highly touted recruits. So right now they're in the top 5. They might even be down as far as 4. So that should translate to wins on the field, but it doesn't always, does it? I mean, just ask Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M. I don't think it's the same type of situation, though. I think the A&M situation and the Miami situation are different. But congratulations to the Hurricanes. Killing it on the recruiting trail. Cleaning up in the state of Florida. Recruiting better than anybody in the state of Florida right now. Florida State's not doing bad either, but they're not doing quite what Miami's doing. We got signing day coming up here. What day is when? I'm not signing day. Early signing day. What is it? Wednesday or Thursday? It's this week. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see then. I might do something for that on YouTube. Speaking of what I'm doing on YouTube. The bowl games this week are just awful. I mean, I went through the schedule trying to find something to get excited about and possibly stream. I can't find one. Now, if you guys really want me to stream one of them, let me know and I'll try to work it out, but they're just not any good. They got to do something about this bowl selection. They got to get rid of the conference affiliations. I don't know what they got to do. You know what they got to do? Whoever's picking these bowls needs to be somebody who's a real hardcore fan of college football, because there's lots of different storylines that you can play up if you know what you're doing, but they don't. Some of these matchups are just, they make it zero sense. I mean, you would think that these bowls, the whole idea of the bowl games is to make a compelling matchup that people will want to watch, because that's how you get advertising dollars. That's how you sell tickets. That's how you sell merch. That's how you create excitement around the postseason. You know? Anyway, there's a bunch of good games next week. I think the best one this week is probably, what do you guys think it is? Missouri and Wake Forest. I think that's Friday afternoon. Best storyline would be the Cox versus the Beavers. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well, they missed the boat on that one. I hear a lot of people angry about the Florida State. Is it Florida State? Is it Florida State that plays Oklahoma? Yeah, that's probably a bad matchup. Florida State is probably going to stomp Oklahoma. But Florida State and South Carolina would have been a hell of a game to watch. You know what I mean? They missed the boat on that one too. But anyway, yeah, let's get to the cheers to the chat, and then we'll talk a little bit about the slobs, and I'll just lay it out for. I won't spend all day on talking about Slab Olympics, okay? But I just want to make some points so that if people ask me throughout the week or in the next couple of weeks, I can just refer them to this show and say, get all your answers on the Midday Show episode, whatever this is, 74. It's just easier for me. All right, so let's see who's here. Then we'll get this show started. Matt Dummett, what's up? Nate the Great, Pastor Dave, Ultra Magadog. Traveling Full says, yo, 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 yo. Goose Sports. VicTube. Dog Behind Enemy Lines. Rich. Kirby's Visor. Florida State or UCF, the flagship program in the Sunshine State. Damn. Florida State's the best team right now. Miami needs a couple more years. Sorry. I know they're recruiting well right now. They still need a couple more years. Mario needs to get his guys in there. He's still playing with Manny Diaz players for the most part. And then whoever he gets out of the portal. I would say that Miami fans need to be patient, but 99% of that fan base is not patient. Not patient at all. There's another 1% that are. Austin's here. Did y'all see Rec Talk flex about buying $400 cigars? Yeah, that's something. There. Hey. Look, I'm not going to hate. Obviously, if he's affording $400 cigars, he's a successful person. So I'm not going to hate on that. I wish I could buy $400 cigars. What's up, Jeremy? Tiger Cat. The Nature Boy. Luke Walker. FCS All-American Corner transfer. Let's go. Pastor Dave. Mary Rickamus. Has Elon opted out of Twitter yet? Yeah, I don't know. The amount of people that care who owns Twitter, I don't get it. Elon Musk can own it. Friggin' who cares? Really, who cares? I know I don't. I did see yesterday that who was it? It was Snoop Dogg tweeted out. He's like, yeah, he tweeted out to Elon, let me run Twitter. Imagine if Snoop Dogg ran Twitter. Holy hell. What's up, Texas Rocks? Blake Ellis. What's up, Blake? Miyagi Fan Karate. My man Volusia Orange. Volusia Orange is a tater man in a foreign land. Senor Dog. Is Alabama still getting it? Yeah, Alabama's still getting in the playoffs. Just wait. They're going to make an announcement that they're going to kick out, one of the other teams. I get either Ohio State or TCU, and they're going to let Alabama get in the playoffs still. You didn't know that? Rack Dog's here. Kevin Tay. You really want to talk about a casket?
Casket!
How about the Patriots? Oh my God, that was I wasn't watching the game live, but I saw the replay of that. The end of the who was that? The Raiders? Yeah, there was the Raiders and the Patriots. I don't know what that guy was thinking. What's up, Battle Angel? Alakazam. All right, real quickly here, I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown. I heard a little bit of the morning show on Uncle Lou's channel this morning and some people asking questions and stuff, and I got some messages over the weekend. I got some comments on my last live show, and so here we go. 2023 Slab Olympics, Isle of Palm, South Carolina, March 3rd through 5th. First of all, the number one thing people keep asking is, what is this? It's just an excuse for all of us college football fans that are on YouTube in this little community we have here to get together once a year and hang out. That's really what it is. It's a family style event, all right? So, I brought my kids both years, my wife, other people bring their wife and their kids. It's a family friendly event, is in other words. Like it's in a different city every year. The first year we did it in Atlanta. The second year, or this past March, we did it in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. This year we're heading down to my neck of woods, the Charleston area. So Isle of Palms is only about a 10-minute drive from Charleston. Even closer than Charleston is Mount Pleasant, which is just over the Isle of Palms connector. On Saturday, which is the 4th, we will do the events. You don't if you don't want to compete in these silly events in the actual Slab Olympics themselves, you don't have to. You can just come and hang out, which is what the majority of the people do. I think last year we had like 30-something people compete, and of course your boy PigskinPeete came in 3rd place overall, despite falling twice in the 40-yard dash and being eliminated at the first round of the paper rock scissors contest and the Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader. I got the weirdest question about some... Battle Angel, what was my question again? She was the one that was reading the questions. I don't know. It was something about some nursery rhyme or some crap I didn't know about. Anyway, so the competition will take place on the 4th, and most people leave on the 5th. So the 4th is a Saturday. The hotel situation. There's only 2 or 3 hotels on the Isle of Palms. Well, I take that back. There's 2 or 3 hotels on the public side of Isle of Palms. There are private resorts that are much more expensive, like Wild Dunes, for example. But Wild Dunes, even if you did want to stay there, it's on the entire other side of the island. It's on the north side of the island. Where we're staying is on the south side of the island. And it's a good 10 or 15-minute drive. So you wouldn't want to stay there anyway. We're staying, or where I'm staying, and a lot of the people are staying, is a place right on the beach, a hotel right on the beach called Seaside Inn. We paid around $200 a night, which is pretty good when you're talking about on the beach. I guess you could pay more or less depending on whether you want a beach view, an ocean view, or not. But that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good price, even though it's in March. If you were to go get that same room right now, it's about $150, I think. But for March, that's, they start going up in price as you start getting closer to the warmer weather and, of course, spring break. Although, that's the other thing about Isle of Palms is it's more of a family style like type beach, you're not going to see a bunch of college spring breakers out there. You might see some, but not a whole lot. Most of those will go to the other prominent beach in Charleston called Folly Beach. But here, if $200 is a night is too much for your pocketbook, that's completely understandable. If that's all that's holding you back, if you go over the Alapalms Connector, which is right there by where we're staying, it's only a 5-minute drive to a bunch of other hotels in the city of Mount Pleasant. 5 minutes away. And you'll probably pay half that. Even at a decent place. So there's your other options. If you really want to go all out, you can rent one of these beach houses on the beach, like an Airbnb type deal. Which we actually looked into doing that, but then we would be kind of like separating ourselves from the rest of the pack. You know what I mean? And we want to be right there in the same area as everybody else. So there you have it. March 3rd through 5th. Reserve your room now if you haven't already and you really want to come. That's the other thing. If you think you want to come but you're not 100% sure, go ahead and reserve the room. You don't have to pay for the room until you arrive. And depending on who you book it through, you have, I think, a 7 to 10 day cancellation. It's like you can cancel all the way up to a week before. Again, you have to check with who. I don't know if you use Expedia or Hotels.com or if you do it directly through the hotel. They probably all have different cancellation policies. But most of these sites, or even at the hotel itself, you'll be able to cancel within a week or so. If you decide you can't come or can't afford it, or just say you don't want to go. It won't hurt to. It won't hurt to go ahead and reserve it. I've got my room reserved. I don't even remember who I reserved it through. I gotta figure that out. I probably should call them and make sure they have my reservation. I know they do. Kirby's Visor, member for 3 months. Why does Jay keep sending us faces of death? Yeah, I addressed that on Friday. No, I didn't address it on Friday's show. I talked about it on Traveling Fools show on Saturday night. Good God, man. This guy's sending me direct messages on Twitter of people being brutally murdered. I'm like, what? So now I've just learned my lesson. If he sends me a video on Twitter, I'm just not going to click on it. I don't even know where he finds this shit. Honestly, don't. All right. What you guys think about doing some news? Let's do the news. After the news, I'll open up the StreamYard for anyone who wants to come in. Here we go. Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel. Well, we might have peaked on Friday. We might have peaked on Friday's show with the news here. A Space Force director was investigated for wearing a chartreuse mankini around colleagues and keeping a case of sex toys in the office. What the hell? What the hell is a mankini? A A Space Force head analyst kept his job after being investigated for misconduct at work, including wearing a chartreuse mankini in the office and storing sex toys at work, according to the new documents released by Air Force Times. Andrew Cox, while serving as director of the Pentagon's Space Security and Defense Program, acted like a 13-year-old boy and created an environment unsuitable for a federal workplace. So why does he still work there? Air Force Times reported his co-workers said his workplace antics launched him a 6-month investigation that substantiated reports of his misconduct and unprofessional behavior. Oh, is this what a mankini is? Oh, my God. In his office, according to the report released by the Air Force Times, Cox kept a framed pair of silver glittery hot pants. Where was I at? Oh, I lost my place now. Pair of silver glittery hot pants and an electric green mankini that he once donned in the workplace over his clothes, showing off to co-workers during the holiday bad Santa party and displaying it more than once. So that's a mankini. That's Barat, that movie. Jeez. I regret reading that. I'm sorry. I apologize. What is this, The Onion? Chiefs fans expressed displeasure with officiating in Kansas City's overtime win versus the Texans. Hello? Every single football game that takes place, whether it's the NFL or college, fans complain about the officiating. Every single one. It never fails. And I get it. I mean, there's bad calls. But this is the human element. Yeah, there's not going to be perfect officiating ever. But every game is like that. Every last one of them. There are fans out there that legitimately believe that every time their team loses, it's because of the officials. Like they can't fathom that they would actually get beat. Frank Gore Jr. sets all-time bowl game record with 29 rushing yards and a touchdown pass. Speaking of that, hey, who's the guy that bet me? I have a $25 bet with somebody. On the Clemson game. He actually sent me the $25. I have the PayPal. And of course, if I lose, then I'll send him back 50. I just can't remember who it was. Anyway, the bet was, I said that Clemson will have at least 200 rushing yards, for the team. Because Tennessee's run defense is terrible. Well, their defense in general is terrible. And I hopefully expect to see a heavy dose of Will Shipley and Phil Maffa running the ball. And Cade will probably run the ball some too. But for the majority of the year, up until the South Carolina game, Clemson was averaging over 200 yards rushing per game. So we'll see. I just can't remember who the person was that bet me that. It doesn't matter. I have his PayPal information because he sent me a PayPal, so I can pay him if I lose, even if I don't know who he is. If you want to feel old, consider that Southern Miss running back Frank Gore Jr., the son of longtime NFL running back Frank Gore, ran 20 times for 329 yards and 2 touchdowns in Southern Miss 38-24 win over Rice. Southern Miss did a dog on top. Gore Jr., a third-year sophomore, ran 207 times for 1,053 yards and 7 touchdowns in the 2022 regular season, but nobody was quite ready for this outburst, so he's a 1,000-yard back. Interesting that, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, in the world of the transfer portal and everybody feeling like they can find a better opportunity somewhere else, a back of Frank Gore Jr.'s caliber, a 1,000-yard back. And I know people say, "Oh, Pete, but look, he plays in the group of 5. This isn't, big boy football." Hey, look, stop. If you're playing Division I college football and you're running for over 1,000 yards, then you're a great back. I don't care what your competition is. But I'm surprised that Frank Gore Jr. is not, trying to look for a better opportunity. No disrespect to Southern Miss. And by the way, if he stays at Southern Miss and gets his degree and finishes his career there, then I tip my cap to him for that. I'm just surprised that he's being the type of back that he is, that he's not trying to go somewhere else. Gore Jr. couldn't run for 100 on Miami. Well, I guess you're psychic or something. I don't know. Yeah, Frank Gore, Hall of Fame. Is he going to go in the Hall of Fame? 16,000 yards, 81 touchdowns. Frank Gore also caught 484 passes for almost 4,000 yards, 3,985 yards, and 18 touchdowns. Is Frank Gore Sr. a Hall of Famer? Brandon Pratt said, "I could run for 100 on Miami." Hey, how many rushing yards did Clemson have against Miami's defense? I mean, DJ Uiagalelei was out there looking like Lamar Jackson against you guys. It was unfair. And you were there in person to witness it, Slim, with me. Where are my Clemson people at? I know there's some Clemson people that memorize every single stat from every single game. I don't do that. First of all, I don't have the memory to do that. Does anybody know or remember how many rushing yards that Clemson put up on Miami this year? I bet you it was about 250. Hell, well, it might not have been 250. That was the game that DJ was the leading rusher, right? DJ ran for like 80 yards. $201. Okay. Thank you, P Digits. So there you go. Over 200 yards.
It's official. Xfinity
No.
Mobile is the fastest mobile service and gives
I don't
you
even
the
know where
best
that's coming
price for
from.
2 lines of unlimited. T-Mobile customers save 25% on your wireless bill.
Jeez.
Plus, get $1,000 back when you switch 5 lines to Xfinity Mobile.
All right, let's look at some sports news here. We haven't done this in a while. And the reason I don't usually look at the sports news is because most of it, well, it's mostly NFL stuff. And we don't talk a whole lot of NFL on here, but we do sometimes. If there's a good story like somebody was talking about earlier with the final play of that Raiders and Patriots game, that was ridiculous. Trevor Lawrence right now is looking like one of the best players in the NFL. He's looking like a top. He's been for the past 6 weeks or so. He's been playing like a top 5 quarterback. And don't look now, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are on a tear. They control their own destiny for the playoffs. They're on like a 4-game win streak. Most likely going to win their division. And Trevor Lawrence is just absolutely tearing defenses apart right now. Well, let's look at the stat. I'm sure it's probably on here. All the people that have been talking about Trevor Lawrence is a bust, Trevor Lawrence is a bust for the past 6 months have all gone quiet. They've all gone quiet. I just want to see some stats here real quick. Well, this last game against the Ravens, he was 27 of 42 for 318 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think yesterday he threw for his first interception in like 5 games or something. 200 and something passing attempts. 6 games. So right now, nobody really wants to line up against the Jaguars. Yeah, the Panthers still suck. God, the NFC South is awful. There's a good chance. Not a good chance, but I take that back. There is a chance. Not a good one. There is a chance that a team with a losing record could win the division. If the Panthers win out, they will be, what is it? If they win out, what is their record? I think they would be 1 game below 500 if they won out, and they would win the division because of who they have head-to-head on their schedule coming up. But I still think that probably the Bucs are still going to win the division. Win out, they go 9-8. Yeah, so there you go. If they win out, they'll go 9-8, and they'll win the South, and they'll make the playoff. Oh. No team with a losing record. Is it 9-8 or 8-9? Okay, that wouldn't be a losing record then. What am I talking about? 1 game over 500. Thank you, TX Tiger, for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Ad blocker starter fund. Oh, well, this is on Yahoo. I guess I can put ad blocker on that. Yeah, I'm not paying for an ad blocker on Yahoo. Anyway, T-Law killing it right now. Oh, the World Cup. Of course. I watched like 3 or 4 World Cup games. I'm not a soccer fan. I appreciate it, but I'm just not a soccer fan. I watched like 3 or 4 games. A couple of them were pretty good. I didn't watch the final. And all I keep hearing from everybody is it's the best soccer game in the history of the world. Everybody's talking about it. Anyway, Argentina won. That came down to, what are they? I don't even know what you call it. Overtime kicks, free kicks, whatever, penalty kicks. I don't know what you call it. Argentina was, I think the money line bet, if you were to bet it in Vegas, was like almost plus 400. It was like plus 380. So I don't know how much that Drake put. I think he bet over $1 million on it, but he ended up winning like $4 million or $3.8 million. So he must have bet $1 million to win $3.8 million. That's what I read. Why do all his kids hate him so much? I don't know what you're talking about. Alabama football transfer portal tracker. Oh, my God. All right, you got me. I'm clicking on it. It's almost like, can you only build your team in the draft, or is there such thing as free agency now in college football, Saban said during the 2022 season. For years, NFL teams use both of these things to help build their team. I think some teams are doing that. Some teams are probably need a little more than others. But I think it creates a lot of parity relative to how fast you can rebuild a team. How fast you can sort of get your own team to where you need to be very, very competitive. Entering the transfer portal does not guarantee that a player will transfer, but other programs are allowed to contact him. The portal officially opens on December 5th. So this must be an old... Alabama players entering the transfer portal. Receiver Aaron Anderson. Receiver JoJo Earl. And it wants me to click something to continue. Nope. Bengals players take a jab at Tom Brady after a win versus Buccaneers. Please, everyone always takes a jab at Tom Brady. Meanwhile, half of the opposing fan base lines up in a line like a couple of 12-year-old boys after the game to get his autograph. You guys see this every week? I don't know how Tom Brady doesn't have the ego the size of Mount Everest. He seems like a pretty humble guy, really. I mean, but every game, because these kids... You got to figure, these guys, some of these guys are 20, 21 years old. I mean, they don't know, they've never seen NFL without Tom Brady in their life. Like I said, they line up like a bunch of little 12-year-old fanboys after the game to get his autograph. He signs their jerseys, their helmets, their footballs. Deshaun Watson with a big win over the weekend. Of course, everyone's mad about that. He's going to have to get used to that. Oh, this was funny. I was talking about this morning with my father-in-law. The Bills game was delayed because the fans were throwing snowballs at the opposing team. They actually came over the loud, the PA system, and had to tell the fans to stop throwing snowballs, otherwise they were going to penalize Buffalo. Let's see. Did you guys see this? First of all, I can't imagine. Actually, I can't imagine because people are out of their minds. I just don't remember. I feel like this is a new fad. I know it's probably happened throughout history here or there. I feel like this is a new fad in football. It's not just happening in the NFL. It's happening in college, too, especially at Tennessee and South Carolina. They love throwing shit. But what is it with throwing stuff at people? And it's not like you're talking about a bunch of 16-year-old high school kids throwing shit. These are 40 and 50-year-old men that are throwing stuff at athletes. I don't think that players should ever, interact with a fan physically or threaten a fan physically, or obviously put their hands on a fan for yelling stuff at them or whatever. I don't agree with that. But I would have no problem if you have something thrown at you. You should be able to go up and do something about it. I wouldn't blame a player one bit for going in the stands and beating the shit out of somebody that threw something at him. I wouldn't. And I know it's just a snowball. Oh, Pete, just a snowball. It's harmless. Yeah, well, don't throw it at me. At first, the Buffalo Bills fans threw up snow in the air after their team's first touchdown. That was fun. Then the fans started throwing snowballs on the field at Miami players, and the officials had a dilemma. On a play near the goal line, snowballs came raining down during the play as Tyreek Hill tried to catch a pass in the end zone. One snowball hit a TV camera on the field. Despite everyone on social media firing off jokes that's obviously dangerous for anyone on the field or a field, of course it is. There was a warning shown on the video board at the stadium reminding fans not to throw snow. Yeah, you got to remind a bunch of grown people not to throw things. That is just sad. That is just sad. After Bills running back Nyheim Hines scored a touchdown and more snowballs came flying on the field in celebration, officials delayed the game. Referee Bill Vinovich made an announcement that the Bills could be penalized 15 yards if fans kept throwing snowballs on the field. Oh, man. This seems to happen more, I think, this type of thing. That's another, like, trend that seems to be happening more and more each year recently is people fighting at games. And again, it's not, we're not talking about 16-year-old kids most of the time. Most of the time it's 40 and 50-year-old men fighting at a sporting event. Uh-oh, everyone get their trigger warnings out. Man, if Dabo said this, it would break the internet. Pittman, the direction of college football is disturbing. I can see some people with smoke coming out of their ears right now. In today's world of college football, just about anything goes between immediately eligibility transfers and name, image, and likeness. It has felt like the Wild Wild West. Where is it? The way of football is going right now is disturbing a little bit, Pittman said. Regardless of whether Pittman likes it or not, until more regulations are put into place by the NCAA, wrong, not happening. We'll have to play the game. The NCAA can't do anything about state laws. Now, that's referring to the NIL. That's not referring to transfer. They can implement rules as far as transfer goes. Well, they already did, and then they changed it. You used to have to sit out a year. Now you don't. But as far as the name, image, and likeness that everyone doesn't like, yeah, you better take that up with your state legislature. Because the NCAA can't override state law. Yes, we have resources here, Pittman said, but there's uncertainty. Universities out there have a lot more than we do. Some have a lot less. But we do have the resources. I still don't believe in buying players. I believe in somebody that wants to come to the university and then talk to you about what they might be able to do in their name, image, and likeness. Wow, sounds a lot like Dabo. It's not just the transfer portal and NIL that have caused problems for Arkansas, though. Pittman said NIL is a conversation they have with the parents of high school recruits as well. It's a thing of the world. Pittman said, listen, I don't want to sit here and act like we do not prepare for that, or we don't have anything here at Arkansas. We do. We have adjusted with that and those things. But yes, it's a conversation in everyone that you recruit. Here's his next quote. I think some time frame for the NCAA has to change, I think. It's a lot right now, but everyone's having to deal with it. You're not the only one flying around the country trying to see these guys. We went out and tried to hit all 23 commits the first week between Friday and the first day out. And the commitments for the first week so we could fly around to different portal guys and make that a priority as well. Okay. You're seeing more and more coaches. You know, in the beginning, it was just kind of a couple of lone wolves like Dabo and Saban. And it seems like you're seeing more and more and more coaches now that are expressing publicly their dislike of the rapid change of the sport. But they all complain about it, but then they all say the same thing like he just said. Yeah, you know, everyone's got to deal with it, though. So, you know, which is true. I tend to believe that the transfer thing is going to somewhat correct itself in time. NIL is a totally different thing. But the amount of people that continue to enter the transfer portal compared to the amount of slots there are for those players to go, I mean, the math doesn't add up. So eventually, once there's enough, this happens enough times, you'll start to have data that you can show these players, which I think we're starting to enter that time frame now, because it's been like, what is this, the fourth or fifth year of the portal, where these coaches can point to data, hard data, and say, look, you know, chances are you're not going to land anywhere if you do transfer. So maybe you want to stick around for another season and see if you can, you know, earn a roster spot or move up the depth chart or whatever. And they can start to actually hear from players who, you know, entered the transfer portal looking for greener pastures and didn't get picked up by anybody. Then they'll actually have somebody, an actual peer of theirs. They can say, hey, but bro, you might want to rethink this. You know, I mean, nothing's going to stop it completely. Nothing. All right. I guess that's going to do it for the news today. Let's see who we got here on the line. We got Slim Shady Canes. We got Volusia Orange. And we got Luke Walker. What's up, gentlemen?
I'm glad we proved this morning that apparently I'm psychic.
Yeah.
Psychic?
Well, according to Peete, I must be psychic.
Oh, what happened?
Because
the Miami thing, yeah.
Well, because what Peete neglected to look up is Miami played Southern Miss, sir.
Oh, really?
Frank Gore Jr. rushed for 10 yards.
Oh.
Actually, the whole team is a total rush for like 35. So, yes, Frank Gore Jr. can't rush for 100 on Miami.
Well, can't and didn't are two different things, but okay.
Well, congratulations, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations on shutting down Southern Miss.
I'm going to go buy me a lottery ticket now that I know that I'm psychic.
It's one of the 5. He has to celebrate it.
You know, I mean, look, I mean.
Well, when you put your foot in your mouth like that.
You know? Hey, Slim, how about that 17-0 Buccaneers lead against the Bengals, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you at home?
Put Tom Brady into Pete, I need this. I need you to help me with this. We put Tom Brady into a say it with me, casket. Casket. Thank you. Thank you. Big DJ Reader, Clemson boy. Big Tater Man, DJ Reader, put him into a casket. Got my avatar for that today.
The NFC South is awful. It's insane. The Steelers have won 6 games, 4 of them have been against the NFC South.
Yeah, even the Steelers beat fucking Jesus, man.
The Steelers are 4-0 against the NFC South.
That's like bragging about shutting down what was it? Southern Miss's running game.
I'm just saying.
The NFC South is terrible.
The NFC South is.
They're terrible.
Look, man.
I mean, you can try and turn it around all you want, but you wanted to be a smart ass and try and prove me wrong, and you were wrong. You put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, sorry that I don't.
Your L, going about your day.
Yeah, sorry I don't know about the rushing yards against Southern Miss.
Well, you tried to take a shot at Miami. You took your L. It's okay.
I'm taking a shot at Miami. I was taking a shot at you.
Hey, Luke, congratulations on the Steelers further ruining your draft pick. Appreciate that. Love that. But I just
we're actually good at drafting, so we don't need high draft picks like the Bengals.
Right. So are we. But down 17-0 against the Buccaneers and the Pirate ship, I was pissed off. And then we ran 34 straight on them and put them in the casket, and it was good. I felt good. And
still not quite as impressive as that Indianapolis loss, though.
That's wow.
I
and
feel
how about
bad
the way
for
the
my
Patriots
Carolina man
lost that game
Saturday,
too?
though.
How about the way the Patriots lost? One of my best friends, one of my best mates, he used to live in Shanghai here. He's from LA, but he's a huge Patriots fan.
Hey,
he was at the Super Bowl with he was at the Super Bowl.
You'll never guess who coached the guy who threw the lateral for the Patriots.
Chandler Jones?
I have no idea.
The guy who threw the Patriots player.
Dave Doran, of course. Doran.
Oh, Donut Dave?
Yeah,
he went to NC State.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He did.
Hey, Volusia. Hey, speaking of that, real quick, while we're on the Dave Doran subject, did you see who they got right through the portal? The Wolfpack.
NC State.
Yeah.
Nah, who?
Yeah,
Dakari Collins.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a poor career decision from him. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's a mistake. All right. Good luck to him.
Yeah. I'm just surprised he went somewhere.
No. What I mean to say is, bless his heart.
I was expecting him to go. I was expecting him to probably stay in the ACC, but I'm surprised he went to NC State.
He might be the best receiver on that team.
You think? Damn, are they losing that much?
Well, they're losing the only good receiver they had.
Bless his heart.
They lost their quarterback too.
You know, he
wasn't going to start next year. MJ Morris is going to start.
Oh.
He's a quitter. He's going to the right place. Because my thing is that he wasn't one of the people that entered the portal after the season. He entered the portal mid-season, which is really, truly a quitter, right? You know what I mean? Like for example, Kobe Pace or some of these other guys like Levante Bentley, they, at the end of the season, entered the portal, right? Once they didn't get enough, you know, and I respect that. It's fine. But if you quit in your team mid-season and enter the portal, you're a quitter. And so Dakari Collins has found him a good home there.
Has he, though? Is that a good home?
Hey, Kirby.
NC State fans celebrating this is almost as sad as Georgia Tech fans celebrating getting Haynes King.
Jesus.
Hey, Kirby's visor. He said to shut down the bot spamming the chat. The Nightbot's actually a moderator. You can't shut him down. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pete's moving up in the world. He got Nightbot.
Well, anybody can get Nightbot. It doesn't have anything to do with me.
All we need is a sex bot, dude. Sex bot.
Damn, Raj.
Anyway, guys, listen. I mean, we got to talk our shit. You know, the Steelers, the Squealers beat the Panthers, and then my Bengals beat Slim's Bucks.
Beating the Panthers is not an accomplishment.
Well, for the Steelers, it is. Y'all suck balls.
Listen, we're not the Bengals.
Any
Don't
win
bring
is an
us like
accomplishment
that.
for you guys. You guys are fucking terrible. Y'all are trash. And so any win you should celebrate. And I celebrated too because this is going to ruin the draft pick.
See, he has to soak this all in because this is the first time in his life the Bengals have ever been better than the Steelers.
Except last year.
Well, it was didn't they go to the Super Bowl last year?
2005. Yeah,
The last
we
2
did.
years.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did.
So
I'm back this year too.
how's our buddy Kenny Pickett playing, or is he playing?
But he got hurt.
No,
You didn't
he's
watch
hurt.
the game yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Mitchell
That's why I'm
Trubisky
asking.
beat the Panthers.
Mitchell
Oh.
Trubisky. The future of the Pittsburgh Steelers is Mitchell Trubisky, and I
Kenny
love it.
Pickett's been pretty mediocre, like
here
I
for
said
that.
he would be.
I am here for that. I'm here for that.
Is it Kenny
You know
Pickett's
what?
problem, or is the Steelers just a mediocre team?
They're just a pile of shit. They're a pile.
I
of
mean, you think a great quarterback would make a mediocre team look better than 40-year-old Ben Roethlisberger?
All right, well, maybe they're less than mediocre, and he just makes them look mediocre.
shit. Yeah.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger made him look better than that last year, and Ben Roethlisberger was not
Maybe
a
Ben
quarterback.
Roethlisberger was a great.
Oh my God,
quarterback, and you gotta-
Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you're talking about a rookie.
I'm talking about 40-year-old Ben Roethlisberger who couldn't throw the ball 20 yards.
All right.
He threw it a lot to Bengals and Browns defenders though. That was great.
Who, Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah, he did.
He didn't really. He owned you guys.
I mean, I'm not sure what really defines a good win in the NFL anymore. I mean, the Browns looked pretty mid yesterday, but
Yeah,
I
they
heard
did.
that was a good win.
How about Mike Tomlin? Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season with the Steelers. He has to win out to go 500.
Yeah.
And he will not.
He will not.
He will not, and that'll be fun.
No, if the
The
Steelers make the
Steelers are a
playoffs this year,
cockroach.
put Mike Tomlin in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think
They
Mike
are-
Tomlin's
they
going
are
to
a
the Hall of
cockroach.
Fame anyway, but
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I'm saying do it this
Fucking
year.
bastard.
Forget when you're retired.
Cheating bastard. Trip another guy on a kickoff return. Go ahead for that.
So how many idiots in the Steelers fan base are going to call for Mike Tomlin's head if they have a losing
Oh, they
season?
already are.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire him. Fire. Yes. Fire Tomlin.
No,
I'm with that.
That'd be, you know what?
Fire
That would be like the curse of the Bambino. They might never have a winning season again if they fire Mike Tomlin for that.
They're not going to.
Beautiful.
Rooney's no better than that.
Fire him. Get rid of his ass. He sucks. Get rid of him.
The Steelers don't
We'll
listen to their
take it.
fan base because they know they can't.
Because they know how dumb they are.
Because the most retarded fan base in the world.
Because they've been calling for
yeah.
Mike Tomlin to get fired for 10 years, and he hasn't been
Why?
fired
Because-
yet.
Stupidest, most Luddite, retarded fan base in the world.
Yeah. Seriously, the Steelers are one of the best run organizations in all of football. Have been.
tell us how you really feel, Volusia.
I fucking hate the Steelers.
Yeah, he hates the Steelers.
Decades of pent-up anger of us owning them.
Fuck you.
Steelers have a.
Although I've got to call you out on it, though. I've never understood this line of trash talk, Volusia. You can't talk about how bad the NFC South is and then
Yeah.
praise coming back from a 17-0 deficit to beat an NFC
No,
South team.
I didn't say anything about the NFC South. And in fact,
You
I'm
agreed
proud
with
that
Luke
they-
Walker's statement.
Well,
I
look,
said
at
the
end of
NFC
day,
South's
you look at
terrible.
the records of the teams in that division, and it's piss poor. However, I respect Tom Brady. Obviously, if you don't, you're an idiot.
Tom Brady's
What I'm
cooked.
saying-
He's a bum.
Dude, he can't hit the broadside of a barn right now.
Look, what I'm saying is,
The
I'm
Bucks
happy
beat
with the
reporters were
Bengals
harassing
coming
Gio
back
Bernard.
from a 17-point deficit to win that game. I'm proud of them, and I think it was a good win. I'm not talking shit about the Bucks. I think the Bucks are.
I'll talk
flawed,
shit
but-
about them.
Yeah, the Bucks.
Why not?
They lost to the Steelers.
Yeah, that makes him piss poor. But what I'm saying is, like, look,
I got no
I'm
problem
happy
talking
with-
shit about my own teams.
I'm happy with the Bengals' performance and coming back to win that game. I feel good. I'm happy with that. Win your clunkers, and we fucking blitz y'all, and I feel good about that. And fuck the Steelers, by the way.
While we're on the NFL thing, so who's the hottest team in the NFL right now?
Bengals, obviously, 6 wins in a row.
6 wins in a row.
The Eagles are 12-1.
Bengals and the Eagles are 13-1, so it's the Bengals and the Eagles.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm not saying who's the best. Like, the Eagles, they've been good all year. I'm talking about, like, who's the hottest right now. Is it still the Eagles?
6
Or
wins in a row for Cincinnati, boy. 6 wins in a row.
Somebody claiming to be VicTube is trying to get your attention, Pete.
Bengals got 6 straight.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
What's up, Vic?
That's big. That's big. What's up, Vic?
Yeah. The Falcons suck.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
They're even worse than the Panthers.
They did.
That's possible.
Did the Falcons beat the
I know.
Saints, right?
We're the worst team.
The Saints are terrible too.
Yeah. I know we're the
I
worst.
know. Yeah, the whole division is terrible.
The Saints still start Andy Dalton.
Team in the NFC South. So,
Third greatest Bengals quarterback ever, Andy Dalton.
The third best Bengals quarterback ever. Yeah, probably behind Boomer and Joe. Yeah.
yeah.
You realize the Colts are the only team in 1,500 plus games to blow a 30-plus point lead and lose.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan, bless his heart, man. Matt Ryan, good God, man. What the hell? I really feel bad for Matt Ryan, honestly. Like, what the fuck? Like, he doesn't play defense. 20
Carolina fans can shut up now about hiring Jeff Saturday as our head
Jesus,
coach.
man.
Yeah. Probably not going to hire Jeff Saturday now.
You know what the Falcons should have done was sign Deshaun Watson. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Well, they would have had to trade for him.
But apparently Deshaun Watson.
They tried to.
I'm willing to give Deshaun the benefit of the doubt, but he has not looked good since he's been back.
He's just not the same without
because
his
he's been out of the league for 2 years. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
The
that's
That's why I
Browns had a-
said I'm willing
the
to give him
Browns-
the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that.
Oh, yeah,
The Browns have
Belush is
one
also
of
a
the-
Browns
maybe-
fan. I forgot.
I'm not. I hate the Browns, but I got to
You
tell you
clearly
like
don't.
it is. I hate the Browns, but I got to tell you like it is. The Browns have one of the best offensive lines in the league, if not the best. They have a great front four. They have a really solid defense. They have great running back tandem. They're going to be a huge problem. Once Deshaun has a full offseason to mesh with that team, the Browns are
Full
going to be a
offseason
huge
this
fucking
offseason.
problem.
off season.
No, wait, he wasn't there. The Browns have.
He
The
was
Browns
there.
next year are going to be a problem. No. He wasn't in the facility. The Browns.
He
are gonna
was
be a
in the
huge
facility. He
problem.
got the suspension only keeps you at
Okay.
the facility during the regular season.
All right.
He was
the
there
Browns are
during
going to
training
be a
camp and in
huge
the
problem
offseason.
next year. A huge problem. And matter of fact, I'm going to put money. I'm going to put $100 on the Browns win the Super Bowl next year, and that doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me happy.
You clearly like it somewhat. You keep talking about it.
That would make.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Browns are going to be a fucking problem next year.
Well, that would
Problem.
make me happy, but
They're going to be a problem.
I mean, they were kind of a problem with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, their offense is better with Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, yeah, but next year that's not going to be the case. Deshaun Watson
Ouch.
all of a sudden doesn't suck at football. All right, he's not a loser all of a
He
sudden.
can't get his rubbing tugs. He's not as good anymore.
Right. So the Browns should just hire some sluts, right? I was saying this earlier. I remember when Clemson baseball, when I was a student, they had hot bat girls, right? A bunch of hot bat girls, right? And then
Hot bat girls.
suddenly, I think it was after my sophomore or junior year, they replaced all the hot bat girls with a bunch of fat, ugly girls, right? Because the coaches thought that it was a distraction because they were all getting their knobs washed, right? And then the team got worse. Okay, the team got worse. So
That was
all
the
Browns-
downfall of Clemson baseball.
right. So all they need to do, the Browns need to hire some quote unquote official massage therapist, right? You understand what I mean? Some fine girls with hourglass
Like I said,
figure.
I'm willing to give Deshaun the benefit of the doubt because I do think there is something to absolutely for being out of football for 2 years, but
Yeah,
yeesh.
But Deshaun needs a different one every time. That's the problem.
that's
yeah.
fine. You think the Browns can't afford that? They paid him $230 million.
Yeah.
It's all
I just
good,
hope
bro.
it isn't one of those Albert Ainsworth deals where he caught that fat check and now he wants to get lazy.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Deshaun is a
I don't either, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Deshaun Watson is a champion. He's nails, and we know this. Am I right, Pete? Back me up. Can I get a witness?
Yes.
Deshaun Watson is a fucking champion, and he will win a Super Bowl, and it's probably going to be next year. So put your money on it now.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine.
He's going to be just fucking fine.
Unfortunately, he plays for the Browns, though, so they won't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. The Browns are actually better. The Browns are pretty good. And again,
What?
listen, Luke. No, they're not good right now this year. But with Deshaun Watson, they're going to be really good. With Jacoby Brissett, the shit. He's a fucking NC State bitch too. Look.
I mean,
Their
you
offense
did
is better
literally
with
just
Jacoby
get.
Brissett.
Wait a minute. You did literally just get done saying that the Browns are pretty good.
They are outside of the quarterback position.
No, they're not.
No,
But why
not
have
this
they
year.
gotten
But
worse
next
since
year they're
Deshaun
going to be a
Watson started if
huge
he's
problem,
gonna
bro.
Turn around the team.
Yeah, the Browns next year are going to be really good, really, really good. And I take no
People
pride in
say
saying
this every year. The Browns are like the Miami of the NFL now, offseason champions every year.
No, they've never had Deshaun Watson.
They have him this year, and they don't look
Yeah.
that much better than
Yeah, Nature Boy makes a good point.
2 fucking years, man.
They got a pretty good running back, too.
Season with that team, he's gonna come back with a hot steaming head, dude. He's coming. Like
I'm
Deion
sure
said,
he
he's
is.
coming. And his luggage is.
Brown should hire
all
him.
the jokes aside, I'm serious though. Make that preseason bet on the Browns to win the Super Bowl next year because it's gonna happen.
No, I
And it
won't.
brings you no
You
pride to
really
say
don't
this.
sound like a guy that hates the Browns, Volusia.
I hate the Browns. I'm a Bengals fan, dude. I hate the Browns, but I'm just telling you the truth.
I mean, being a Bengals fan, I think you hate yourself more than anything.
That's true.
No question, but not now. Not now. Hey, it's different. Hey, it's different now. Joe Burrow.
I gotta ask an honest
question.
question. How do you
Yes.
end up a Bengals fan from Daytona?
Yeah.
So my father's from Ohio,
Okay. Well, that
and
makes
actually,
sense.
my father's a Browns fan, and I'm an asshole, and I was an asshole little kid, and so
Oh, so you're
he's
just being a
Browns fan.
contrarian.
So you do
I
like
was.
the Browns. That's why.
No, he likes the Browns. I've always hated the Browns.
Well, I
In
don't-
fact, the fact that I'm a Bengals fan comes from my hatred of the Browns. My father was a Browns fan when I was a little kid, and I was like, "Fuck you," and I was a Bengals fan solely because of that.
Yep.
And so yeah,
I get that. My parents were Steelers fans, but I never was.
My dad was a Commanders
God,
fan.
bless your heart for that.
Well, they're from Western
Redskins at the
Pennsylvania.
time.
They're from Western Penn. Actually, my dad, I guess he doesn't really have a team. He just likes to follow players more than teams. You know.
Right.
That's kind of the way I've gotten with the NFL.
It's nothing more disgusting than an actual Steelers fan. Gross. Ugh,
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
just disgusting.
I'm looking at the weather forecast here because Pete in the chat, Pete Magaha, not PigskinPeete, he says that he expected a bunch of snow on Friday. He's in North Carolina. What's it like where you are, Luke?
It's sunny right now. It's just cold.
No, like what's the forecast there for the end of the week?
I haven't checked, but yeah, it's supposed to snow.
Friday, the low is in the teens here. 19 degrees.
Dude, either Friday or Saturday, our low is supposed to be 8.
Yeah. I guess there's a chance of snow.
So he didn't raise you,
I
right?
hope it snows, but where I am, it looks like it's going to be cold rain.
We had a chance of snow, but the closer we get, the more that chance is diminishing.
Oh, we got another quitter. Bijan Robinson opting out of the bowl game, foregoing his senior season.
I already heard about it.
Bijan Mustard,
Good
dude.
for him.
Yeah.
Did you see Bo Nix
Yeah.
officially announced that he's coming back?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Isn't
don't
that Texas running back?
Yeah, Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
take Washington.
I have no. If he wants to forego his senior season, I get it. He's going to be a high pick,
Right.
but I don't get sitting out the game. But whatever. What bowl game is that
Doesn't wanna
again?
Get hurt.
Of course he
He's
doesn't.
got to prepare
They're in
for the
the
combine
Alamo
and the
Bowl.
draft.
They're in the
No,
Alamo Bowl against Washington.
afraid of getting hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure Texas fans will miss all the memories they'll have of him running around in the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah. What bowl y'all?
I mean, if you're going to have a performance like Florida did Saturday, I'm kind of glad Miami didn't make a bowl game.
These
I'd
opt outs
rather
are
not make a bowl game.
the opt outs are killing the bowls, man. I mean, Bijan Robinson might have been one of the only reasons I wanted to watch that game.
Yeah. Well, one of the only reasons I picked Texas, so I didn't. But by the way, shitting on teams in bowl games. Look, what game are y'all in?
The Holiday Bowl.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I don't care
That's
about
actually a good game.
Yeah,
They're
playing
They're
Oregon.
playing against Oregon. I'll watch that.
Well, I'll watch it because I'll probably have nothing else to do at the time.
Yeah, Hey, that's a good point, Rick. Rick says Bo Nix just won't quit. Yeah, all these other players are quitting. Bo Nix refuses to quit.
Yeah, Bo Nix is a 5th-year starter.
He's trying his hardest to get that. He's trying his hardest to be a 6th-round pick. He'll make it one day.
I don't know, man. I think he'll probably be pretty good. I don't know about where he's going to get drafted, but
Bo Nix was, oh my gosh, Bo Nix is in the same recruiting class as Sam Howell. That's just crazy.
yeah, it is crazy.
Bo Nix
He's going to get drafted the same year as Drake May.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see
Carolina's
those.
had 2 quarterbacks in the time it took Bo Nix to play college football.
Although I will say this, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is now a starting quarterback on a Super Bowl contender. So that's what Bo Nix is aiming for.
Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant. Did I see the Florida player that wasn't? Yeah, that was embarrassing. It was I guess it was the defensive end for Florida. I don't know what his name is. The guy was put in 0 effort on every play. 0. I mean, he may as well have just sat out the game. I don't even know what he was doing there. That's even worse. Quitting while you're actually playing is worse than quitting before you start the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, didn't Kyle Trask do that a couple years ago? He quit at halftime.
Well, they were also down by like 40 points.
Did he get benched or he quit?
He just sat out the rest of the game because he didn't want to get hurt being down 40.
Oh.
Yeah, he sat out the second half. He was still in uniform, but
Is he still on the books?
as far as I know,
Is he still Tom Brady's heir apparent?
no.
Yeah, no.
They're talking about drafting another quarterback. I'm like, okay.
Is
Tampa
Tom
back
Brady
to
going to
being
go back
Tampa.
to the Patriots? I saw
Least
that
I can-
somewhere.
Tom Brady's going to Fox. All right.
At least I
Tom
got
Brady's gonna be on the.
At least I got a Super Bowl out of it.
No, Tom Brady doesn't have a family
Yeah, he
anymore. He's
did.
about to play till he's 50.
Yeah, he still has a family, dude.
Tom Brady. Tom
He doesn't
Brady's
care about
had
his
a
family
deal
anymore.
Right.
No, Tom Brady's had a deal to commentate for Fox next year that's worth more than his NFL deals were.
Yeah, he's making like $30-something million or something.
But he's a sicko and loves playing football, so he'll play until he's
No.
50.
He's done. He's done.
Yeah, he's
That
done.
Fox deal's
his
waiting
last
on
year.
whenever he wants to go.
Yeah, I mean,
forever 0-1 against Joe Burrow.
early, early in the year, you can make excuses for him because that offense. I mean, they lost 3 offensive linemen before the season started, and then
Hey,
Mike
Felicia.
Evans couldn't catch a cold. But now it's just
Felicia,
obviously.
where's Joe Burrow going to go when Mike Brown can't afford to re-sign him?
Oh, Joe Burrow's staying. We might lose the rest of our entire team, but Joe Burrow's staying.
Yep, that'll probably be the beginning of the end for the Bengals run there. Once they pay him $60 million a year or whatever they're going to pay him.
They're gonna pay him about 45,
Yeah.
and he's
And
staying.
Jamar Chase will be a
Yep.
Steeler.
He's going to get $45
No.
million to get folded up like an accordion and not play.
Hey man, look, say what you want to. Say what you want to. You better put that money in the Bengals win the Super Bowl this year because we're coming. We're coming.
It seems like every single team that does these max deals with their quarterback, their teams go to shit. Let's just look at them.
I don't know. Not
Let's
The
go down the
Bills and
list.
Chiefs are doing fine right now.
yeah, they're doing okay.
Huh? I said most.
Yeah, how about the Packers?
Yeah.
Well, they've been pairing Aaron Rodgers a lot for years. They're just a stupid organization.
Here's the question. Here's the issue for the Bengals, right? The Bengals will pay Burrow. The Bengals will not let Burrow go, and they'll pay T. Higgins too. And the next year they'll pay Chase.
Higgins?
Absolutely yes. They may not pay Tyler Boyd, and they may not pay for the defense. Jesse Bates is going to go.
They may
And
not
I
pay
love
Jamar
Jesse Bates,
Chase
but
if
he's-
they're paying Joe Burrow and T. Higgins.
They're going to pay Burrow, Higgins, and Chase. The problem is that the defense is going to suffer from that. And so we got to win the Super Bowl this year.
And the O-line and the rest of the team.
The O-line's okay. The O-line's okay. But because that was
So
those are
you're
all new
paying your
signings
entire
for
salary cap to 3 players. It's going to
Right.
fall off.
It's going to be a problem, not for the offense, but for the defense. And the defense right now is really good. But guys like Hendrickson, guys like Sam Hubbard, guys like Jermaine Pratt, Cheeto Uzie, it's going to be a problem. And I think the Bengals defense is going to suffer because they're going to break the bank for Burrow, Higgins, and Chase. And they're going to be a team that scores a lot of points. But the problem is they're going to really have a tough time maintaining the type of defense that they have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think this year is the year to win the Super Bowl right now.
That's why Tom Brady was. Brady
So
was.
you're going to go back to being the Steelers' son is what I'm hearing.
Oh, no, y'all are going to be shit for a while because y'all suck and y'all are a bunch of fucking yins or bitches. And I'm happy with that. I'm much more worried about Cleveland and Baltimore than I am about Pittsburgh.
Brady was the smartest player about the contract situations.
Lamar Jackson's going to be an Atlanta Falcon in 2 years.
Great, cool. That's awesome. We would both be thrilled with that.
Yeah.
But you know who's not going to be an Atlanta Falcon in 2 years? Deshaun Watson.
I'll take Lamar Jackson in Carolina. Come on, baby.
I think Deshaun
I'll take him in
Watson
Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Lamar Jackson.
Ravens can have Kenny Pickett.
Nah. The problem is when the Bengals run ends, it's going to be the Browns. Deshaun Watson is going to win with the Browns, and he's going to win a lot.
It sounds like you're hoping for this to happen, Mr. Browns fan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I wish he would have gone to the fucking Panthers.
It
So
really
he could
sounds
languish
like
in
it.
obscurity forever. But it's not going to happen, dude. The Browns are good, and
The Browns are not good.
Okay. All right. Well, a year from now, when the Browns are winning the Super Bowl,
Yet.
I'll laugh at you.
They're not good yet.
He didn't say they're going to be good. He said they are good.
They are good outside of the quarterback position, and next year they're going to be pretty good at that position.
Because of the quarterback position. They're saying that it's bad now, but it's going to be good next year, but they're going to have the same quarterback.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Browns offensive line assessment, good or bad?
Good.
Good.
Maybe the best in the league. Browns backfield,
Good.
good or bad?
They'll be good. Yeah.
Browns defensive front.
You're just naming off the good areas of the team. You just skip wide receiver.
Okay.
Good.
Why do they got Amari Cooper? They're all right. And fuck, Deshaun Watson led the NFL in passing in 2020 with a shit receiving core.
That's
and a
better than the
shit
Browns.
offensive line.
Donovan Peete.
Was it? They traded away DeAndre Hopkins. They had nothing.
Didn't they have DeAndre Hopkins in his last year?
No. I'm talking about. No, they didn't. They traded him away. He was at the Cardinals.
The Texans.
Right.
But they traded him away, and then.
Yeah, they had David Johnson. What a fucking dude. Listen, Deshaun Watson is going to be a problem for Luke. I don't say this with pride or with happiness, but he's going to be.
Sounds
a
like
problem
you
for
are
us.
because you keep talking about it.
Like,
Well, I do love him, but it's going to be a problem for us. It's going to be a problem for us. Well, it's going to be a problem for the Bengals, not for you, because you guys suck and you guys are going to continue to suck. But I'm saying it's going to be a problem for the Bengals.
I mean, I liked Ray Lewis, but I wasn't cheering for him to win the Super Bowl in 2000. I was cheering for
Yeah.
Tampa to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's not cheering for him to win a Super Bowl. He's saying he thinks he is going to.
Right. You understand? He's just a problem. It's going to be a problem.
We'll see.
Well, you're right. He is a problem. I mean, I've watched the highlights of the game. He was a problem, all right.
Yeah. How many points did they score yesterday? 12?
They
But I've never
They
seen
won.
a game with so many missed or blocked field goals.
But you're proving my point, right? Like, he played poorly because he hasn't been on the field in 2 years.
Was that
But
the
their
Browns that
defense
punted
shut
from
down
like the
Baltimore.
30-yard line? Did you guys see that?
Yes.
They couldn't even kick a 40-yard field goal?
Right, yeah, dude. Both teams were
punted
more
it.
Should
missed
never be
field
able to find
goals
a
or-
kicker. It's insane.
It's like Clemson.
I
Well,
think
not-
there
well,
were
Clemson's got a
couple
kicker,
blocks
but
in
not a
that
punter.
game, too.
Deshaun did nothing because he's been off the field for 2 years, and the Browns still won.
He's played 3 games and
Against
hasn't
the
looked
division.
better in any of them.
Okay, give him an off season. Give him an off.
And I mean, Luke is right. He did go through the offseason program for the Browns.
All right. So you think he just forgot how to play football?
Oh, I don't think he's the same without his rubber thugs.
season.
He's not as loose on the
It's a
field.
funny joke, but like if we're ever, yeah, it's funny, right? But if
I
we're
think
actually
Russell
talking
Wilson
real
just
shit-
randomly forgot how to play football. Why couldn't it happen to Deshaun Watson?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I will bet against that. I will bet against that.
I mean, Mike Evans forgot how to
bet on
catch the
him.
ball. I've
If
seen
it's
more
going to
bounce
happen
off
to
his
any
face
franchise,
mask.
it'll happen to the Browns.
Again, listen, fuck the Browns. I'm with you on that. But at the same time, I'm not betting on that. In fact, I'm betting against it.
I
think
also
he's
never
gonna
bet
win
on a
and
team
win
that's not
big.
my own to win the Super Bowl.
He's going to win. You're right. He's going to, well, Deshaun is going to win in Cleveland. And he's going to win big because he's a winner. That's what's going to happen.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, is he the most hated quarterback in the NFL at this point? He's morphed into a meme of himself.
And I don't get it because everybody, according to everything you read, Russell Wilson's a nice guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but the guy is cringe level 1,000, man.
I actually met him once, and he was a nice guy.
I don't doubt that
He's
he's
a Wisconsin quarterback.
I don't doubt that he's not nice, but
Is that the last good quarterback Wisconsin had? Russell Wilson?
No, he is NC State. I got to give NC State credit for that. He's actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, their QB
Maybe
used to
that's
have a
the
Wisconsin quarterback, Ryan Finley and Jacoby Brissett. I forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, although Russell Wilson has kind of made a meme out of himself.
He really has.
He is an egomaniac.
I mean, he tried to turn a hoe into a housewife against, just rules of nature.
Mr. Unlimited.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh, Let's Ride is great though.
I just know I'd rather bang my head into a wall for 5 minutes straight than listen to Russell Wilson interviewed. It's terrible.
It's Mr. Unlimited. You don't like Mr. Unlimited?
No. He has mastered the art of saying nothing by saying a lot.
It's that NC State education.
He came to China in 2017. My wife interviewed him, and he was here. He was doing a thing for the kids out here for NFL China, and my wife interviewed him, and he was exactly what you would expect. Sierra was here too. It was just a bunch of platitudes and bullshit. Yeah.
Pete Digits is, I believe, he's a moderator. I don't think he can be timed out by anybody.
Okay.
I don't see him. I don't think he's hidden. I don't see it.
Pete, let's give it up to DJ Reader, man. DJ Reader killed it. Killed Tom Brady's ass, man. Clemson, a tater man, ex-Bengal man. Love him.
Yeah, I didn't see.
The stalwart. Go ahead.
I was just saying I didn't see the game, but I heard about it.
He forced a fumble on Brady and recovered another one. And you know what? He was the stalwart of the 2014 Clemson defense that was number 1 in the nation. And he was kind of in obscurity for a while, but now he's showing out and earning his flowers. He looks really great.
Something about the Texans and former Bengals players.
Against the worst offensive line in the NFL. Congratulations.
Well, no, he's been playing great for 2 years.
Yeah, DJ Reader's really good player.
Yeah, he's really good. He is a transformative player in terms of the Bengals' run defense because he hurt himself earlier this year, and he missed a few games, and the run defense was shit. And as soon as he came back, immediately, night and day. Just throwing out some shout outs to a Tater man who's shown out in the NFL. Love it.
Are there any bowl games today? Yes, there are. And no, is there?
Who's playing today?
Hold on.
Lou went over the list this morning. It's
Isn't
not
it like
really,
UConn and somebody today?
It's not really a stellar list.
Let's see here.
I know UConn plays Marshall, right?
Yeah, UConn plays Marshall today at 2:30. There's a couple games. Oh no, tomorrow. Yeah, that's the only game today is Marshall and UConn this afternoon. UConn is a 12.5 point. I would take Marshall. I'm pretty sure I picked Marshall. 12.5 points.
I think Marshall will destroy UConn.
Yeah, me too.
No, credit to UConn. Credit to Jim Moore Jr. for making UConn a bowl team.
Oh,
That's
no
amazing.
kidding. Yeah. Didn't UConn beat like Louisville or somebody? They beat somebody in the ACC. Boston College.
BC.
There you go.
And they beat Fresno State as well.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Fresno State, little birdie, or a bunch of little birdies out there projecting the ukulele. Fresno State.
Go to Fresno State.
Now, I don't.
He's falling that far. Fresno State.
Fresno's a good program.
It's a good program, but you'd think you could get a Power 5.
Yeah, you think so.
Somewhere.
Well, I mean, they brought him on a recruiting trip to UCLA, so clearly they have interest in him.
He got a transfer quarterback, though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Well, he was just
maybe ukulele's going to Fresno.
He was just there last week, but yeah. So whatever. That was the on threes crystal ball prediction. I don't know if there's any weight to that or not. That's just where they're predicting him to go.
It's not like a 24/7 thing. It's just.
It's
I want to talk about On 3 for a second, right? So the guy's name is J.D. Pickell, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But he capitalizes the K in his name, right? Because he wants to be called Pickell. Because for his entire life, he's obviously been called
Pickle.
Pickle.
Yeah.
Pickle, right? And so
Do
he
you think
tries so
capitalizing the
hard.
K is going to make people change the way they pronounce it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Capitalizing the K is going to make people not call him JD Pickle, right? So I just will continue to call him JD Pickle because I know he hates it. I feel like he's been bullied his entire life. JD
He just needs to go the Chad Ochocinco route.
You know what I mean? Just change his last name to Gherkin. You know what I mean?
Nate wants to know if we're going to Hooters in Charleston. I'm not. You can. But yeah, I didn't really. So the Kent State quarterback that went to UCLA, when did he transfer? Was that before or after DJ's visit there?
It was like a couple days ago.
Okay, so it was after then.
So basically, UCLA sees the Kent State quarterback as better than DJ, right?
I saw somewhere where he was like all MAC first team quarterback or something like that.
Okay.
Wasn't it Western Kentucky a couple of years ago had like a 6,000-yard quarterback?
And Bailey Zappi.
Hey, Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Bailey Zappi.
I mean, you get some good players come from these lower division schools.
Well,
And White Mike.
had a
White Mike is
ridiculous
from
amount of
Western
attempts.
Kentucky, right? Isn't White Mike from Western Kentucky?
Mike White?
White Mike.
Mike White. I have no clue where Mike White went to college.
Western Kentucky.
Good for him.
Well, Western Kentucky is a quarterback factory, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm about to pull up the. Who is the player that everyone's talking about that decommitted from Florida and went to Miami? Slim.
Nobody decommitted. He just didn't go to Florida.
Oh, well, they act like they stole him.
Cromartie McLean did decommit from Florida.
He also didn't decommit. He just had a bunch of crystal balls. He just committed to Miami.
Then why are they acting like they
over
stole
this
something?
Weekend, it was Mark Fletcher, the four-star running back.
But all
He
the Florida
decommitted
fans
from
thought
Ohio
they were going to
State.
get him, but he didn't go to Florida.
Yeah, he decommitted from Ohio State.
That bag talks.
Nevin Shapiro lives.
And John Ruiz.
So right now, according to 247, Miami is currently overall third, composite rank fourth, transfer rank. That's the big one there, 11th.
Yeah, the overall is with the transfer ranking.
Okay.
I don't get
Composite
that though,
included.
because that we have one transfer so far. I mean, how that's 11th, I don't know.
Did you see Travis Hunter might be going to Miami?
Look, man, listen, I can't begrudge any of these recruits who are going to Miami. I like hookers and cocaine too.
I said it 3 weeks ago, and everybody thought I was just talking shit that Travis Hunter had been in contact with Miami.
They said Travis Hunter's going to whoever pays him the most money, and Georgia, USC, and Miami are the favorites.
Yeah, I like hookers and cocaine too. I understand. I get it.
That'd be tough for Florida State fans if Travis Hunter goes to Miami.
Dude, that would be a slap in the face. That really would.
Well, the hookers in Tallahassee are ugly as fuck. Yeah.
Although, to be fair, one of our transfers already committed to Florida State, and another one was at Florida State this past weekend. Which, I mean, if they want anybody off of our offensive line, did anybody see Miami's offensive line play this year? You can have him. The D lineman they got's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, Clemson went from 3 5-stars to 1 when nobody left or decommitted. Look at that.
Well, yeah, because they reclassified Christopher Vizina as a 4-star, whatever.
Yeah, they
And Vic
updated
Burley, too, I
rankings.
think.
They did the same thing to us.
That's
who was
how
it?
Clemson got above Carolina in the recruiting rankings last year, because they moved all our commits down and moved all Clemson
Yeah,
up.
who gets,
I can't remember who it
I don't
was,
care. I'm just pointing it out.
But literally 3 days after one got committed to Miami, he got reclassified to a 4-star.
Yeah.
There's a time last year where Carolina had the number 3 and number 5 player in the country committed, and they ended the class as the number 13 and 25 player in the country.
How does it? Texas A&M only has 13 commits. They got some work to do.
Carolina has like 18.
No, Pete,
Florida
they got
State's
some money
got
to spend.
Florida State's only got like 16.
A&M's got some money to spend.
Yeah, Florida State's doing pretty well because they've got 16 commits, but they're currently ranked 18th overall. Yeah, 1 5-star, 7 4-stars, and 8 3-stars.
Yeah, and their 5-star is supposed to be on Miami's campus this weekend.
Oh, really? Well,
Hey, Pete, how
I
scared
am
are you
going
about
crazy
that?
with that bag.
Yeah. Pete, how scared are you about that?
about what?
About Miami's great recruiting class.
I'm not.
I mean, Miami's always had talent. It's probably been the culture and development.
Well, they haven't always had top 5 classes. I mean, lately.
But I mean, they've had top 10 talent, top 15 talent. I think they're like according to recruiting rankings, they were like the 13th most talented team in the country this year, and they didn't make a bowl game.
Yeah, but you negate all that when you're hiring a new head coach every 3 years.
Right.
And who
Right,
knows if it'll be anything different.
Which is the point I was making before the show. It's one top 5 recruiting class is impressive, but you need to string together multiple of them and give this staff some time.
I absolutely agree with you, Pete.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Miami's also
Hey,
doing the
agree
Texas
as well.
A&M strategy of just buying all these recruits.
Yes. Well, according to you, we threw a bag at a 3-star. So
You did.
whatever.
I told you
No,
it was
they
going to happen
didn't.
before it happened, and you told me it wasn't going to happen.
Ohio State dropped all the way to number 7. That's wild. Yeah, they're at 7 right now.
Did you see Ryan Day said they were broke?
What?
That they don't have enough money to keep a competitive roster fielded?
You got to be kidding me.
He's a whiny bitch.
He said that a couple of times this
But
season.
all the Ohio State fans were saying they were going to give Drake May $10 million. Okay.
Fuck Ryan Day. He's a whiny bitch.
If Ohio State's broke, then they've got a serious problem. It's one of the biggest universities in the country.
Yeah,
Well,
facts.
obviously their university isn't broke. They're talking about they won't spend any money on NIL, or the
Good.
boosters won't pay for all the players.
That's obviously a lie. That's
Yeah,
obviously
that's
a lie.
bullshit, man. That's
I mean,
bullshit.
Ohio State's been a
Right.
top 10 program for over 20 years now.
Well-
You don't get there without spending money.
Oh shit. Correct.
Crying Ryan Day.
And by the way, Slim, 2002, that pass interference call is bullshit. Y'all should have won it.
Well, they should have won that game anyway because they were the more talented team. But
No,
I said it never
no.
should have went to overtime, and Miami fans need to quit crying about it.
Well,
It was
I'm on
also
your
20
side.
years ago, so you should probably stop crying about it anyway.
Well, I'm not crying about it. I'm backing up, Slim. It was bullshit.
Oh, I agree. It was a bullshit call, but they never should have put themselves in that position.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. I'm trying to look up this. See where this quote is here from Ryan Day. Tell you one thing. If he took that he could get his own NIL deal with Just for Men, and he could just buy players with that.
Yeah, what hair dye company
What
does he
the
use?
fuck?
I don't see.
Now, here's a serious
I'll find
question
it later.
because I don't know how all the rules work for NIL, but I mean, could Nick Saban technically hire some guys to an NIL deal with his car dealership?
Alabama's been doing that for years.
I see him saying, well, so far when I'm reading, it's him saying the same thing that all these other coaches are saying. Unless it's
He's a,
I found the article. He says they're getting outbid for recruits by as much as $1 million.
well,
I just put it in the string article.
oh, you did?
a fucking river. Ohio State is one of the richest programs in the country. If you can't pony up, then fuck you.
I mean, I hear that a lot that schools are getting outbid for this guy or that guy, but there's very few that we actually know for a fact are getting multi-million-dollar deals.
Right. And, Clemson.
So there's a whole
is
lot of
not-
speculation of it.
So these are just people. So according to this guy, whoever this guy is on Twitter, McNeil, UGA offered a kid $1.8 million a sign and $800,000 per season. Ohio State couldn't get him more than $500,000. Like
Yeah,
that?
I saw that too.
Yeah. According to some guy named McNeil on the internet, so that makes it true. You know.
Hey, everything you read on the internet is true, sir.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like,
Everything
well, I mean,
Joe
he's got a
Rogan says
point.
is gospel.
We don't, I mean, it's taken as gospel fact that Tennessee's paying a quarterback $9 million, but I mean, there's no real evidence out there to that fact.
Well, there's never going to be actual evidence because nobody's going to investigate it.
We've really got to find some middle ground here. This shit is.
The NCAA actually needs to enforce the rules. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah. But do they have the legal standing to do so?
No.
They can't. That's why they don't.
Right.
Right.
NCAA.
So we need to get rid of the NCAA.
Power.
Is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Well, the
I
smart
don't
thing
know,
would
man.
be at least for the Power 5 conferences to just form their own independent league. But that's not going to happen either,
I
probably.
mean, at this
Well, I
point,
mean,
we should just
the-
pay the players' salaries and stop with the NIL, so it can at least be fair for everybody.
I want
Pay
fairness.
everyone a flat
I
rate.
agree with you, Luke. Luke, I agree with you, man. I want fairness, right? I want a fair playing field for everybody. That's all I want to see.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for everything in life to be fair, you're going to be looking for a long time. Because last time I checked, life ain't fair.
I get that.
More
but
fair than
as
what it
far
is
as
now.
sports go,
'Cause
as
it's
far as
never gonna be
sports
fair.
go,
But it
in the
can't be
NFL,
like
it's
this.
fair, right? You got the poor downtrodden franchises in the NFL get the first round draft pick, right? You got revenue sharing, you got all this and that, salary caps, right? So
And the players have
You know, in life-
contracts, so you can't just take a player off of somebody else's roster.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Is like we have to find a system that works to make the sport interesting. Because why is the NFL the greatest professional sports league in the world? Is because it's fair for every team, right? A poor team, a pobre team like Cincinnati or Jacksonville or Arizona or whatever can become a good team and maybe compete for a Super Bowl, right? Otherwise, why the fuck would you?
Well, a
even
lot of
watch?
these NIL deals are contracts, but unfortunately,
They
they're
aren't
making
contracts.
one-year
That's kind of the
contracts.
problem.
But actually, no, a lot of them are, but they're one-year contracts.
What I'm saying is that if I'm a fan of a team like, I don't know, Pittsburgh or Oregon State or Kansas, bad example, Oklahoma State, right? And I don't, also a bad example, Iowa State,
And Pittsburgh
right?
lost their best player because of NIL.
That's what I'm
Someone just took
saying,
them off
man.
their roster.
Just pluck them off, right? So why the fuck would I continue to watch this team? Why? I'm not a tiny Tim here. I'm not Southeast Missouri State. I'm not Sacramento State. I'm not fucking, East Carolina or Coastal Carolina or whatever, right? Like, I'm a major conference team. Now, if you're gonna pluck people off my roster, why the fuck should I even watch? Like, it's pointless.
It's a different sport now. Hey, congratulations to Zona Tucson 93. Yeah, they got Justin Flo in the portal. Believe that? Arizona.
So
Justin
Flo
Flo hasn't
transferred
done
from
anything
Oregon to
in
Arizona.
Oregon.
Yeah, he's transferred to Arizona, or he's announced that he's going to.
He
Yeah,
hasn't
I
done
heard
anything
that he
in
was.
Oregon.
I heard he was crystal balled there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been injured at Oregon though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
but still. Yeah,
I mean, I kept hearing from Jordan that Frank Ladson had that problem at Clemson, but I mean, he managed to stay healthy this season at Miami and had a decent year.
Yeah.
and Bill Norton from Georgia, he says. So a couple of good players there.
Pete, we've really got to get 2 receivers out of the portal this year. We really have to. We have to.
Yeah.
Hey, Carolina might get that Kent State receiver that was carving up Georgia. He's from North Carolina.
The Mississippi State kid. What's his name? The Mississippi State kid. Ray something or other.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he'd be a good one.
Yeah. We need to get him.
Well, unless he played for Clemson at some point, he's not going to Clemson.
You know what? We just got to break that mold, man. That's it. Otherwise, no,
I mean, Luke's got a point.
I get it. He does have a good point because that is the precedent. But we got to break it. We got to break the mold, man.
There's gonna be a lot of sad people out there.
We are literally sanctioning ourselves. If we don't take transfers, we are sanctioning ourselves.
When Dabo gets one transfer that's not a Hunter Johnson, I'll believe that he'll start using the portal.
Well, that's what we all say, but.
I'm with you, bro, but I need to see that.
Yeah, we all need to see it. But once it does happen, there's gonna be a lot of upset people because they won't have anything to, cry about Dabo about it anymore. That's all you hear.
This is the internet, sir. They'll find something else to cry about.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that back.
He's a racist. Dabo's a racist. Or whatever.
No, I think he's gonna get somebody, but we'll see.
I think so too.
He needs to get on it though. I know he's waiting on it.
He better get on his horse. Yeah, let's do it now.
These players aren't all in. You can't get them. He's going to give scholarships to walk on. Because he is all in.
Man.
Well, Brock says you shouldn't be allowed to talk to players unless they're in the portal. I think that's the rule now, but they're just breaking the rules.
But that doesn't stop teams from doing it.
Yeah.
It's the quote-unquote rule, but come on now. Jordan Addison, when he was at Pitt, you think USC didn't talk to him before he was in the portal?
Well,
Not only
the quote-unquote rule is, NIL isn't a recruiting tool, but it's used that way anyway.
Yeah.
Not only are they not waiting until they enter the portal to contact them, they're contacting them in season while the season's still going on. The regular season.
That committed to a different school the day they entered the portal. You think the teams weren't talking to them before that?
Of course. Zona says we flipped the 4-star offensive line.
Sanctioned and fired for that, but that probably won't happen, will it?
Well,
Georgia Tech's winning the ACC this year. They got Haynes King.
Amazing, dude.
So they flipped an App State commit. They're winning the ACC.
Holy shit. I'm scared. Are you scared?
I can't even talk that much shit about him because we lost twice.
Yeah, you lost twice in a row.
Yeah.
He is scared.
But our offensive coordinator left, so he's the one that got owned by Georgia Tech.
Oh.
He's in Wisconsin now.
Yeah, but you still got your defensive coordinator.
Well, our defense was the problem the year before, but that defense coordinator is also gone. Georgia Tech scored like 21 points against us.
You've been hollering all year how they need to fire Gene Chisholm.
I said I'd like Gene Chisholm to leave. I said they should fire him. They do need to fire the D-line coach.
Well, if you want him to leave,
I said
why wouldn't you want him
Chisholm
fired?
held Georgia Tech 21 points, didn't he?
I'm just saying the defense wasn't the problem against Georgia Tech. It was the offense.
Look, we back up a second. You said you didn't want him to leave. Or you didn't want him fired. You just want him to leave. Isn't that the same thing? You just don't want him on the team anymore.
There's a difference between someone fired and someone leaving.
No, either way, they won't be there next year. That's the bottom line.
It's just like Max shouldn't fire him, but if he left organically, I wouldn't be mad.
I got you.
Yeah.
He doesn't want him fired. He wants him to leave with cake and punch.
Yeah.
I do need our D-line coach and our corners coach fired, though, because they've been here too long for these units to still suck.
Although, to be fair, I think Mac Brown wants cake and punch, too.
I think Mac Brown's retiring after this coming year.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to retire when Drake May leaves.
He's going to retire and become an offensive assistant for Clemson.
Yeah.
He should become like a recruiting coordinator or something because he's still good at that.
Yeah.
Not a great head coach anymore.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot better than the last couple you've had.
Oh, yeah.
He actually has.
John
Larry Fedora did a
Bunting,
good
he's
job
not.
until the last 2 years.
John Bunting, he is not. Yes.
No, don't say John Bunting. I don't hear that name.
What are the? Have they built new facilities at North Carolina recently, or?
Yeah, they built them when Mac Brown got here.
Okay.
We renovated the stadium, got a new locker room, football lounge, all that stuff.
Yeah, Florida State's building theirs now, and they're saying, "Oh, we're not going to put slides and putt-putt courses in there." They're talking about Clemson. And it's like, well,
I mean, the slides and putt-putt courses are kind of unnecessary.
well,
Doesn't Clemson have a bowling alley?
yeah.
Wait a minute, they got slides and putt-putt courses in Clemson football? Really?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but Florida State saying, "Oh, we won't have that. We just going to have. We're all about business." Well, seems like it's working okay at Clemson. You haven't beat him in 7 years.
We're just now starting to build ours. I mean, we're just now building our football facility, sir. I'm a Miami fan.
And furthermore, every one of these mega football complexes that are being built around the country have all kinds of shit, game rooms, and so stop it with the we don't play putt-putt here. That's just silly. Of course they do.
I mean, they might not play putt-putt, but they're playing something else.
And the fact that the slide makes everyone so mad is also funny.
I mean, it is kind of stupid, but it's also hilarious.
It's just, yeah, right. It's fun. Like on the second level of the complex, instead of going down the stairs, you just slide down the slide. Hell, I'd use the slide. Why not?
That's some lazy stuff right there.
I want one
I'd
of
be
those
lazy to walk down a
poles
flight of
like in
stairs from the
Ghostbusters.
slide.
Yeah, skee ball. That's right, Casey. They got a basketball
Clemson just
court.
built an arcade, is what they did.
I want
Well, it's also like one of the most state-of-the-art, medical facilities, training facilities. I mean, it's not just putt-putt and slides. It's not a Frankie's Fun Park.
No, it's putt-putt in an arcade.
it's $100+ million McDonald's play place.
They got a game room too, like where you can sit there and play whatever PS5 all day on couches and shit.
Well, doesn't every school have that now?
Hey, that's my point.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is make the Fiesta Bowl, and they give every player a PS5.
If I were the athletic director for Florida State, I wouldn't be going out there and say that's not a good recruiting tool to 18-year-old kids. Hey, guess what? We're building a new facility, but you don't plan on having fun in there, all right? Because it's not going to be any fun.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be inside Miami's. I mean, I've seen the renderings for, what it's going to look like on the outside, but that's all I've seen of it.
Yeah, Miami just built that indoor practice facility in the past couple of years, didn't they?
Yeah, it opened in 2018.
Yeah.
Mark Rick got it built, and it opened his last year there.
Well, Larry Fedora got our indoor practice facility built, and it was open the year after he got fired. So he raised all that money to not be able to use it.
I had been hollering that Miami needed that for years because that had always been, a thing. Even going back to the 90s, like it was habit for them to get like 30-something practices a year shut down for lightning.
Yeah.
Because it's Florida, it rains every day.
Yeah, you literally
in the back.
You have to, in this day and age, you have to have an indoor practice facility in case there's bad weather, whether it's a cold weather team or a hot weather team or whatever.
The Bengals don't have an indoor practice facility.
Well, that's just sad.
It's under construction. Okay.
To be,
it's under construction.
To be proactive, I mean, in my opinion, Miami is one of the teams that should have been leading the way on that kind of thing when it's costing you practices like that.
It was one of the former players for the Bengals. I think it might have been Chad Johnson. I can't remember. That was talking about how notoriously cheap the owners of the Bengals are.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to pay Joe
He
Burrow.
was saying that around the facility, instead, like most of these NFL teams, right, or even at college teams, they have like, refrigerators full of whatever kind of sports drink you want or water or whatever. He said they wouldn't even do that. They had
players pay for it.
They had what do you call those things? The water coolers. Like an igloo water cooler full of water with a paper cup if you wanted some water.
Well, to be honest, wasn't that the same interview where he talked about he basically lived in the facility for 2 years? I mean, they may have just done that to him.
I mean, he also
No. He was right. He was right, but things have changed. Things are changing around the Bengals facilities right now, thankfully, and it's high time they did.
I've seen the Bengals indoor practice facility. It's rather fun. I've driven by it several times.
Well, it doesn't exist.
It's brand new. No, it's
Well, no,
brand new.
they've got
It's
a giant tent set up on the side of the interstate. Is what they're using right now.
tent.
It's right, yeah, it's right under the end. Yes.
It's like a circus tent.
But they have finally put aside the funds to build a proper indoor practice facility. So the meme is over. Okay, I know what you're talking about, Luke. I know what you're talking about, and it's shameful. But
No, that was me talking about that. As soon as you cross over the bridge into Cincinnati across the Ohio River, it's right there on the side of I-75.
Well, that was the outdoor facility. They didn't even have one until like right now.
The tent on the side of the road.
They put up a big ass tent on the side of the interstate, and that's where the Bengals practice.
Yes.
It's just you see Joe Burrow crossing the highway to get the indoor facility.
Yeah. He's doing like Frogger across the interstate.
Yeah.
You're talking about the AFC champions, by the way. I'm just saying. All right.
Congrats on your little AFC championship.
Pete, how do you feel about the new Call of Duty? I don't feel about it,
And
Rick.
that's like 6 lanes of traffic too, because it's right there where I-75 and 71 split.
You'd
Yep.
have to cross both lanes
Yep.
too.
Right under the overpass.
Yeah, Nature Boy,
Win it
exactly.
again.
It looks like the flea market on the side of the highway.
You know the
That's
Packers have
hilarious.
to drive from their locker into the practice field, by the way?
What?
Yeah, so like Aaron Rodgers gets in his car with his pads on and drives to the field.
They don't even have like a golf cart you can use or something like that?
I'm
Right.
sure they do, but apparently the players drive. It's like a mile apart.
Fuck it. Green Bay. Like, who wants to live?
Who wants to live in Cincinnati?
Right?
Yeah, that was a different sort of story, Casey. He's talking about when Haskins got hit by a car walking down the interstate. That was in the middle of the night.
That was in Florida.
Yeah. That was
That
sad.
was in Florida.
He also wasn't walking across. He was walking on the side of the road.
Didn't his car like run out of gas or something?
No,
Yeah,
I
he
think
was
he
walking
did.
to the
I
gas
think he
station.
did. He was walking down the side of the road, but I think he attempted to cross the interstate because the gas station was on the other side of the interstate. And so he attempted to cross and got hit by a big truck, I guess like a dump truck or something.
Yeah, he hit by like a semi, or he got hit by a dump truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this turned into the NFL midday show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we had some good bowl
What was
games to
the
talk
NFL
about.
for us, man? I mean, you
I
know,
The
mean,
Bengals are
Luke
still a
versus
beta
Pete.
franchise.
yeah, well, you know, we're still your daddy. It's all good. Y'all suck. Y'all are
What?
garbage.
Did
And
you
we're,
say you're the Steelers' daddy?
that's right. We're winning the division. And y'all are trash.
You have, what is this Bengals record against the Steelers? Ben Roethlisberger is like 26-4 against the Bengals.
What have
or
you
something
What
like
have
that.
you done for me lately? Who? Ben who? Ben retires burger. I don't give a fuck about that.
Ben retires burger.
You know Ben Roethlisberger has won more games in the Brown Stadium than any Browns quarterback since
I forgot who that
1999.
is. I forgot who that is. Who's that?
Is your daddy?
Boomer Esiason? Boomer Esiason? A fucking, I don't remember who that is. Terry Bradshaw? Who the fuck? I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't
Mitch
care.
Trubisky owns Joe Burrow. That's all I know.
I mean, I'm kind of with Luke on this one. Those two franchises aren't even comparable.
Yeah, okay.
Well, most franchises, as far as history goes, aren't comparable to the Steelers. That's unfair.
All right. Well,
I mean,
San
they're-
Francisco's right up there with them. The Raiders are up there with them. Dallas is up there with them.
Yeah, you're talking about all time.
England.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
The Blue Bloods of the
Green Bay's up there
NFL.
with us.
I mean, doesn't Tampa Bay have more Super Bowls than the Bengals?
Well, Bengals have 0, so if you have one, you have more.
Yeah. We've
Oh, so we
got
have
3
twice as many.
appearances and
You have 200% the Super Bowls that the Bengals
You,
have.
you have technically an infinite number more because we are 0-3, but that ends this year.
Sure, bud.
Yep. Well, I know the fucking Squealers aren't winning it this year. So.
Mitch Trubisky owns Joe Burrow, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's way better. Let's trade. Let's trade. We'll totally trade you Joe Burrow for Mitch Trubisky. Yeah.
That would be a Bengals thing to do.
Mm.
I wouldn't know. That'd be an Atlanta thing to do.
We'll take you fucking Jamar Chase for what receivers do you guys have now?
George Pickens, Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sure.
Our receiving core isn't that bad. Pat Freiermuth is good.
Actually, it's garbage, and your entire team is garbage, and your franchise is garbage, and your fans are garbage, and your city is garbage.
Bengals fans are good for 1 year. They don't know how to act for 2 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
At least Steelers fans aren't out there throwing snowballs at cameramen. They one of the Buffalo fans, I saw a clip of it. I mean, got a cameraman right in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a snowball, though, so it's not that bad.
Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, at least he threw his at the cameraman and not a player.
At least it's a snowball, not a golf ball like Tennessee fans were throwing.
Yeah.
Right.
True. No, not a mustard bottle, right? Or
South Carolina fans throw whatever, their beer bottles or water bottles or whatever they have in their hand.
I mean, if they weren't throwing snowballs during the play, I just really wouldn't care. I'd have told the refs to shut up.
Well, real fans don't bitch about refs. That's for Ohio State and South Carolina fans to do.
Can I say we're 5-7 because of the refs? That make me feel better.
You can't say that. You can't. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
I love
the only reason the Bengals would ever beat the Steelers.
My favorite thing is just going through Twitter on Sunday. I don't even, you know what's more fun than actually watching the NFL is watching the fans react on Twitter about the NFL. Is every week you see these people on there going, oh, the NFL's rigged, I'm not watching this bullshit anymore. And then the next week they're on there tweeting about the game that next week.
I want to revisit what Luke just said, because if he said it to my face, I'd choke him. What did you just say?
The only reason the Bengals have ever beaten the Steelers is because of the refs?
If you say it to my face, I'll choke you.
Okay.
Fuck off. Joey, fuck, dude. I know you're clowning, and I love you for that, because I'm a clown too. So fuck you.
There's a guy on YouTube, and he just brings up random plays. Oh, this guy tripped no reason. This guy fell down by himself. NFL's rigged.
Well.
Yeah, that's the only reason the Bengals are winning, because the NFL's rigged.
I would love to choke Joey Porter out. I would love to choke that motherfucker out, man. Fuck him.
Another one of your daddies, Joey Porter.
Fuck you too. Hey, fucking bitch. Dude, the only reason y'all won that game in 2015, dude, fuck you. The only reason y'all won that game in 2015 because he ran his dumb ass on the field and got a personal foul from Pac-Man, and then immediately, suck my dick. Fuck you. You already know.
Because Vontez
Now, Luke,
tried to kill him, man.
Luke, why didn't you give him a trigger warning first?
Yeah. That required a trigger warning because I'm mad. I'm heated. Fuck you. Anyway.
So Joey Porter's your daddy. James Harrison's your
All right.
daddy.
Well, that's going to be a good way to end the show. It is 1 o'clock.
All right.
And Volusia needs to go calm down. Have a beer, buddy.
39-10, bitch. Get out.
All right.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'll do you a favor, Volusia. I'll kick out Luke first. See you later, Luke.
Yeah,
Bye.
Please, thank you. All right, guys. Hey, Slim, love you, man. Glad to see the Bills beat the Bucks ass. Pete, love you every day. See you next time.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.
All right, buddy. I'll see you next time.
All right, Slim. Have a good one, brother. Be careful out there in the streets.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today, folks. Another successful edition of the Midday Show today. Again, if you have any questions about the Slab Olympics, go back to the first, 10 or 15 minutes of the video where I explained, to the best of my ability, some of the details about it. We'll talk a little bit about it probably more tonight on the Lunch Money Show as well. And that's it. Thank you all the people that sent in direct donations. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for all the people in the chat. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out because YouTube really cares even if I don't. And believe me, I don't, but they do. They do. All right, everybody. I'll see you tonight.